Right, we're going to advance through, well, probably through a lot of infantry ambushes. Not much we can do, but just rush and react when they show their face. Seriously, nothing yet? Color me skeptical. Won't take that many turns for us to get where we need to be. So they do need to do something very quickly if they want to prevent us from reaching the flags. We will also dump smoke here, but I'm not sure if that would really work for us. It's not without its merit. A missile team cannot fire to infinite distances. So both we can block their long-range vision, or we can alternatively get close enough that they can't shoot the guided missiles anymore. So who knows? We could easily smoke the area. I don't think we should start that way though. Could be that they didn't fire because we were moving APCs around. That's an option. If they have artillery, they can do a lot of damage to us. And the backups. I'm going to give them a wide berth, so they're the primary dealers of the trouble. Once I have a better understanding what to expect from the enemy, then we can start moving these closer to the battle front. But currently, since I have no idea where the enemy is positioned or how much missile action to expect, I'm gonna be a little bit cautious with the core group. These guys don't really see all that much, so I doubt they could. How could they possibly provide any kind of support from here? They can. Now this is a different matter. Yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah, they're shooting at the core army. At least someone's shooting back. Yeah, fuck this. The crew survived. That's beautiful. Oh, could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse. This is sort of an uncomfortable position for us because they didn't give a shit about the units they should have given a shit about. And go. Still not seeing anything really. That's sort of what bothers me the most. Hmm. Any of the current tanks maybe be able to see something? Bit risky to shoot with the command unit, but these are in a better position to fire. Single kill will mean that it's worthless. We can afford the loss, not that big of a deal. Annoying maybe, but we can afford it. Come on, kill it. No. This is the last ready team, and it's dead. Okay. APC action. We are on a fairly tight timetable. No. Can see someone who can still fire at us. Might as well dump the infantry here simply because we might be losing it on the next every time the enemy has a turn. At least if they destroy the APC, the infantry can do something about it. If not, we can just continue on the next turn. Not sure if I want to fire anymore. There's all the ones we see should be suppressed. Yeah, these are gonna be ugly on the infantry. Fairly accurate, and I do we have ammunition for it? Yeah, about 50 shots too. This is these are probably going to be our best units here. If we neutralize some Sagger units before they ever fired a shot. These are actually nice tanks. There's the veteran crew that uses, I think these are veterans. Veteran crew that uses these has a huge amount of shots with multiple weapons, a lot of machine guns too. So these are much better in anti-infantry action than the more modern tanks we have. I'm truly hoping that they won't be shooting at these. They should have closer targets. At the same time, I don't really have a real reason to try to push these where I'm pushing them. So if I was so cautious, I really we should have just waited more. Yeah, I sort of want these tanks to get in the cover of the jungle here. Because protecting these guys was the whole point, so doesn't work if we are right here getting shot at constantly. Yeah, they don't give a shit about the units that are much closer to them. Just want to go after the core group. Not that I can blame them. Okay. Where are my twin guns? If there's something bad about this, is that they don't have a huge amount of range. Not really. So they, at these 30 hex distances, they're not that accurate. Okay, not exactly all that effective from these distances, but we have more or less pinned all of them. Still, could have been better, a lot better. Hmm. You see something. Sagger team destroyed. For shame. Okay, didn't achieve much, but I suppose that's good enough. I don't really see a reason why I shouldn't just do a rush on them. They can fire on us, but usually they did all they could do. Right. Holy shit. Actual anti-tank gun. Be a bit tricky to prop the infantry here. Okay, not bad. We're not in that big of a hurry, so I think we really shouldn't be rushing this too much. There's a nice little ridge here anyway, so we can hide behind that. They without a doubt have more guns. What I'm only worried about really is do they have vehicles, and by the looks of it, oh shit. I think the answer is no. No, they don't really have anything. And it's also not really a defense mission, so they're not dug in properly. They're not that tough to figure it out. We'll go as far as we can as long as we don't cross that ridge. I think there's a lot of resistance on the other side. Well, there's certainly Sagger teams. Okay. Shoot at a Sagger team, I think it's a waste from this distance and in that terrain. Based on what the enemy has had so far, think we're in any kind of danger of losing more core army units. They certainly have nothing out of map, so it's a lot of shitty infantry. I think I want to be in a position to pop my head up and take shots at the targets we consider vital. That's about it. We'll let the hired underlings do the dying, get the flags. I don't think even they can possibly lose this though. The enemy resistance seems fairly weak. Okay. This is a more complicated issue. If I shoot here now, I'll wipe out a squad, but I'll also die. What the hell is to the south? Oh, T-62s. Well, of course there are T-62s here. Why wouldn't there be? Shit. Shit. Thank God the crew survived. There just isn't a good way to do this. We're within a range where both sides can easily get kills. Except I'm not kidding them. So, yeah. We are not having a lot of luck now. Can you shoot at someone else? Maybe we'll have better luck with the other tank. No. Yeah. This is a catastrophe now for us. We can't really change the position or anything, we'll just have to fight here. And they're getting the kills. They're hitting constantly, instant death. Yeah. There's not much I can do, suppression is failing. So this turned into an absolute catastrophe because of that. The worst possible scenario pretty much happened. I can't see anything. Didn't get a clicked a few times, didn't get a single kill, have 3 kills on my own side. Still gotta shoot at these. I'm not sure if our weapon can even penetrate the armor. Yeah, of course you can. The older models that have weaker weapons, they penetrate. Still, that helps quite a bit. We might still lose quite a few units there. Can't go there. Okay, where exactly can I show my face without getting horribly murdered? More tanks. Yeah, it was just a. This was just a warm-up group, and most of our tanks are pretty much wiped out and already. So joy. At least they'll keep things interesting. I knew that was likely to happen. Did it anyway. Yeah. more than half the tanks are gone. We're basically within firing range of the rest. And there's realistically not much I can do. Hope for a miracle, 2% chance of hitting. I might be able to suppress them, but doesn't look particularly good. Holy shit! Why are our core army tanks so terrible compared to these older tanks? I suppose the ammunition matters. This has a huge amount of high explosive anti-tank ammunition. So the fact that the gun might be inferior doesn't really matter. It's all about the ammo. Right. These guys can't do anything about the tanks. But we can do something about everything else. 2, if we also waste the ammunition of the tanks, that'll go a long way in aiding us getting rid of them. Not exactly sure what we should do here. Am I just going to pop in and out and just keep shooting at these? I mean, there's a limited amount of turns, so I can't afford to keep doing this for long. We could try to rush the tanks. Yeah, that's sort of the key issue, though. Are we gonna rush the tank or the tanks that are there? Still only one tank has fired on us, so it's only possible that there aren't all that many of them there. It's an anti-air gun. Not expect one of those. Not that it matters too much. It has the fire part to kill an APC. I want to leave infantry here. Basically want to offer them alternative targets to focus on. I can't leave vehicles here. That's the one thing I cannot do. Shitty machine gun killed the APC. Still, I took the heavy machine gun guys too for that exact same reason. They're sort of worthless, but they have the punching power to get things done here and there. They don't do that. What can we do? Suppress? We need to at least get rid of the AA gun. I mean, the tank can be fairly punishing toward infantry, but the AA gun will leave nothing alive. Well, it's probably routed at this point. Yeah. What could we possibly realistically do? Suppress, suppress, and hope for a miracle. I suppose we might be able to get it to retreat. That would at least save some of the tanks. There's no telling the three I see now right now are the ones left, so. Still, it'll be retreating. That'll be enough. Still, we got hit pretty badly here. We're not gonna be going anywhere. Yep. This is the point where I'm glad I saved the points for repairs. We can sort of shrug this mission off as not all that important. Still, it's a clear mistake that I made. You want to, even if you expect that certain areas to be broken, you still want to make sure send something there. But gee, it's cheap as hell, and it doesn't really hinder your efforts in any way. They have anti-air capabilities too. A lot of missiles in general. Still, it's a big loss. How many crew do we have? 4. 3 tank crews basically survived though. The command crew survived and number 2 survived. We lost C0. That's where the crew died. Hmm. Nice accuracy these guys have. Ooh, actually got a hit. That's good enough. Got the job done. I don't mean that as a joke. That is good enough. So, that's 3 tanks in total and a couple of infantry squads. Fair enough. This is in such a good place, I don't want to move it. Well, hello my friend. gonna stay here, or are we? I'm not actually sure we should. At the same time, I'm not sure if it's a horrible idea. Because, yeah, we have closer units that can act, but if we sort of get their attention away from them, they might actually be able to take things out. Trying to get every one of them to react to something. Hello, friends. And now things are getting complicated. I need to kill one of the tanks at least, otherwise it's gonna be incredibly tough, borderline impossible to get things done. But they are not reacting all that much. Not seeing anything all that threatening here either. The machine gun almost killing me. Treating tank. See if we can use the twin cannons here effectively. We can't do much against the tanks with these. Might be able to give the infantry the capability of taking down the hostile infantry at least. Routed treating. The accuracy on these isn't exactly horrible though. And it is a cannon, so the suppression effect might be better than in a lot of other weapons. Or maybe not. More infantry. Careless firing there. Right. This is not that bad. We need to somehow neutralize that infantry squad. Yeah, the tanks are a big problem, I know, but as long as the infantry is here, there's no way we can get to the tanks no matter what we try. We don't really have infantry with us anyway. Might as well use the APCs to clear the path. Press what we can. Tanks certainly don't give a shit about the infantry casualties. You have a couple tanks here, and infantry squads as passengers for some reason. Because I didn't give two shits about where the infantry goes as passengers, right? Okay. 20%, 20%, and 20%. It's probably the best target because even if we miss, it'll kill the infantry there. And we did not miss. What's so magical about these goddamn vehicles? This is a fairly close quarter engagement though, so armor will have limited effectiveness. 17% versus 17%. Retreating! Excellent. Better than I hoped, actually. Yeah, now I want the extra firepower and men here to be able to do something. We still know, well, we know that they have tanks here. We're targeting a T-62. Who should just escape. Right, that went better than I expected. There might be infantry shooting at us, but I'm not sure if they have tanks shooting at us. Yeah, that's pretty bad, but I don't think that's enough to take out down a tank. And they're shooting at infantry. Always a classic. Okay, what exactly am I seeing? We need to take down that tank. And probably shoot at some of these tanks too. No, they just remanned an AA gun. Okay, infantry first. It's pretty much impossible to lose. And even if we do, no one gives a crap. It's scenario specific cheap infantry. It's better than losing any other unit. Want to spot as much as possible. Yeah, there's another platoon of tanks here. How should we start the fight here? There's going to be a lot of return fire. So do we want to risk our core tanks? The problem with if we don't do something with them is that they basically came here to this mission to die. And we came here to pay expensive repairs. Nothing really to gain from this. Holy shit, we killed something. B1 might be an elite unit anyway though. So, it'll at least hit this gun. %, not exactly great. Clickety clickety click. What about you? Clickety click? No clickety clicks. Yeah, just goes right through. I'll probably abandon the tank. It has 2 hits, so some of the weapons might be offline already. Partly the crew is dead and so forth. I shoot at something, really. We'll have to press our advantage. Still, I don't want to go over any kind of heroes, who the hell knows what's waiting for us. We'll have to let the info ship didn't go where I wanted to go. I thought it would drive. Would drive straight there, but not that it matters too much, but still it's a waste. Mm. More or less, we're just worried about a platoon of tanks. We're not that worried about them either. So things should be getting fairly easy. Shit. But they see way too many of our units. That is the problem. If we stay here, we are just gonna keep getting casualties. I still don't care about too much about moving location. Simply because even if we lose these, there's not much for me to care about that loss. The fact that we can suppress the remaining tanks is much more valuable to me. Effect could be pretty minimal in the end, but minimal effect would be preferable to nothing. What do you see? They probably saw these tanks too. That does mean we'll have to change position. Hmm. And we probably want to rush toward the flags. Let's say I have quite a bit of tanks or something in here and here. We can probably take this in a couple of turns. We're currently at the halfway point of the mission with 6 turns left. So they can't possibly defend everything. At least I don't see how they could possibly defend things. Handful of extra tanks will do it though. All our anti-tank capabilities way too far behind. Would have to do something with the infantry. While that sometimes works, it usually doesn't. We could get a couple of casualties on this turn, half a dozen maybe. Now things went a lot better than I thought. They revealed their positions and that's about it. If we can basically take these 2 tanks away from them, we should be able to rob them pretty thoroughly now. Now the crew will go back in the tank if I don't encourage it to get the hell out of the next tank before the Sagger is lit. One needs to go there. Oh shit. Okay, we need to use the tanks to try to suppress these. If with that sort of goes successfully, that's pretty much everything we needed to do. Just can't get kills at these ranges. There we go. That'll decide things. She'll suppress the other tank even if we can't kill it. Right, it's buttoned already. Clickety clickety click. Good old fashioned clickety click. Right. Do you see it? No. I'm gonna use other units to clear the path. I'm gonna try to go after the T-62s. Hey, what do we see? I need someone needs to do something about the crew. We can't afford another tank here now. Really seeing anything particularly interesting here. I'm gonna move a little bit forward just to see if there is something. As far as it appears, it's that the current line of enemies we see is the last line of defense they have. What can we do about it? Someone needs to do something about the heavy machine gun. It might actually take down an APC, which is no bueno. We could also shoot at... Ooh, I'll take that. Suppression fire with this. Yes, please. Not all that effective. Retreating. That's good enough. Right, I think we were getting to the APCs. So what do we do with these? They still have some more troops somewhere because I haven't seen their HQ unit anywhere. I think we want to move these. Even we can't shoot at anything particularly interesting in our current position here. Or we're too far away from anything to cause effectively all that much damage. We need to get rid of the heavy machine gun. But is that enough? I'm going to basically drive right next to that thing and try to blow it away, but I can't do it with these tanks yet. If I do it now, it'll fail. To get to closer suppression range. Some of these shots actually needs to hit though, otherwise the suppression effects can be limited. Yeah, it's not really working. Still. Has to be something we can do. Don't really seem to be all that much we can do. Maybe we'll get a lucky shot. Ooh, we could get a... No. We can't quite get an infantry squad next to it to take it down. Close though. Mad rush. Yeah, they might have a single tank here, but even if it could fire, it's not gonna be able to do all that much. You can also throw away the couple of tanks I still have here in an effort to try to take it down. I don't even have to go right next to it if I just want to suppress the little... Yeah, those two tanks are probably the only thing I can still realistically do here. Yeah, this one can't get next to it anyway, so we might as well use this to suppress it or kill it. Other one is a follow-up. There we go. Now, there's still a chance there might be additional tanks here somewhere, so we have to be a little bit careful. Yeah, their HQ unit is firing on us. Some infantry firing. This is the end. Might lose the infantry squad, but shit, they remanned the tank. Can't see anything anymore. Still, gotta shoot at something. sure if I should waste all my shots, but at the same time, I don't think it matters at all at this point. We have a reasonable opportunity to take down the tank that is still doing something here, even without these units. We have enough infantry here that we can certainly end the life of their HQ unit. Retreating, yeah, then it wasn't exactly too demanding to get that done. Single kill on their HQ, and that's the end of him. Okay, so more or less we're hunting stragglers at this point. A handful of infantry squads might still be defending the last section of flags, but they're certainly not going to be able to buy 4 turns time. So it's sort of pointless what they're gonna do. Their HQ's gone. The machine gun's gone. Holy shit, anti-tank gunner didn't do any. Yeah, it's because it doesn't have an anti-air target. Okay, can someone shoot at something? Surely someone can see it. No? No, it's in a weird location. Doesn't really matter, it's gone now. Still, someone's going to have to take down the T-62. Really have only one tank that could reasonably be able to do it still. We can shoot it in the rear armor too. Thank you very much. Willing to bet this is the last infantry defense group they have here. I mean, it's already behind their HQ. few. There can't be that much more left. Again, what do we learn from this mission? In this campaign, you always get tanks. I'm thinking the Isherman tanks are actually much better for most of our purposes in these missions. They're not that accurate at long range, but they have massively more ammunition. So if we, they might not be the best of unit against like one enemy, like the T-62 tanks. But thanks to their huge amount of ammunition, a handful of these could have repelled a huge army that we've encountered in the previous missions, while the other tanks, the better tanks, were running out of ammunition. So much better choice for some of these scenarios or campaign missions. Drivers disperse. I think we're pretty much done here. Still no. There's still a couple. A crew I can still see, but that's pretty much the only enemies that I could possibly even kill anymore. Alright, no one sees anything. Not a horrible mission, and we got some good use out of the APCs and infantry this time too. Trying to defend. I think the mission will probably end after the Syrian turn is over. Right. This is a marginal victory, mainly because we got so many losses on the vehicle front. Almost more than they got. So not we didn't do all that well. Still, we can afford it, so it's not really a problem as far as the campaign is concerned. And we have another elite. Yeah, it's about 100 points for us, and this went pretty badly for us. So we could afford similar failures at least twice. Syrian forces near Kudur proved to be stronger than we anticipated. Shifting the attack to another position has been recommended. Currently both the Syrian 3rd Armor and 5th Mechanized Divisions are trying to consolidate their holdings in the Golan Heights near Nabaa. The orders are to drive off the leading elements of the Syrian 3rd Armored Division. So, metric ton of tanks. Strike elements. Might not be a horrible decision depending on the weaponry, because they start usually in gigantic masses. So we can have a cluster bomb type of weapon. We could neutralize a lot of units. I don't think so. The problem is this might be able to disable, these two aircraft might be able to disable like 2 tanks. maybe 3 or 4 vehicles if we're lucky. But they're 1/3 of our all points remaining. I could get a couple of tanks with this, and they could take the same amount of casualties on the enemy side every turn. So it just doesn't make any sense. There's a Shrike weapon here. I have no idea what that is. That could make a difference. It's either a guided bomb, a missile, or a... I don't think it's a cluster weapon. Probably a missile. Very likely to destroy an armored target. I think we're gonna take the Ishermans. The armor is terrible and the fire control isn't all that impressive. Uh, but they have a huge amount of ammo. So I'm at least taking a platoon of these. No matter what happens, we won't be running out of high explosive anti-tank shells. Patterns are a little bit cheaper. And just as good, really. What to do with the 60 points? Get 2 Ishermans. How about section helicopters? Valuable information. I'm trying to really hard to figure out something other to buy that might be worthwhile. Maybe ordnance trucks. The problem with these is that you don't really have the turns to use these. I think I need to basically spend a turn next to the one on without doing anything else, and it would recharge the or refill all the ammunition. But who the hell has the time for that? I could take 2 anti-tank guided missiles. Yeah, they're also cheap, so we can easily throw them away as scouts. Advance against Syria. Right, they are delaying. No, it's a meeting engagement. Shit. Which means they'll start more or less there, and they're probably massed around the road. Where do I need to go? This is at a height or hill. Mm, So if we want to effectively fight there, we are going to have to reach it. So we can't just stay where we are currently. We could also try for some other areas. I mean, we just need to fight a little bit to get a victory out of this fight. There are 16 turns, so we definitely have the time to fight this to the end. We could leave the command unit. No, well, we could leave the command unit there, but I don't think that makes a lot of sense. I think we want to drive fairly directly toward the flags. It doesn't matter what happens elsewhere, because if we control the center here, the fighting is not gonna end anyway. And we want some infantry into these buildings. That will basically guarantee that we'll get them. What I'm trying to figure out is where do we need to go if we want to shoot in the long distance. I don't think there is such a place. We might want to take control of this hill. It would allow us to command this general area. But is that the only real way? Basically send a platoon of tanks there. Maybe even part of the original B squad. C squad would try to maybe go and take control of this hill. It's a dangerous thing to split these units so much. Live and learn. We don't want infantry really on these, but there might be artillery, helicopters and things like that, so I guess we do sort of want... No, infantry goes to the center no matter what. We can send some APCs there. We can split the others a little bit. Got 2 helicopters. I'm leaving one south, one goes north. Again, it's critical to quickly identify where the hell that we need to be. 4 missiles. Okay, doesn't seem that bad. We could even leave these here. The range of 60 probably means we could... No. We want to get to this hill with your range of 60 missiles. They're cheap, so they're probably fairly fast moving food. Right, not bad at all. Core groups try to go for the hills. Scenario army will try to go for the flags. If we capture some of the flags, I'm hoping it'll basically force whatever enemies, where they happen to be, to try to go there. Would give the core troops a chance to rack up some kills without being in too direct of a danger, while the scenario force will clash head on with the Syrian armored division. Any luck, we can at least fill these houses with infantry. It makes it pretty much impossible for them to just drive in here, even though we might not be able to support them with too many tanks. We will see. Their APCs are very good, so if they have a lot of those, then things will get complicated. Because they have the anti-tank missile and they're very fast, so they'll reach the flags first.